Rule number one in sales: the customer is always right. If the customer is wrong, please refer to rule number one. Whether you believe this famous saying or not, dealing with objections is not a verbal game. It's not about who has stronger arguments and who is right. That's simply not how persuasion in business works. People may have their expectations, requirements. Selling business to business, very often supervisors above them who watch their every move, financial budgets, and many other factors influencing their purchasing decisions. Meanwhile, coaching industry focus mostly on things that, in most cases, are irrelevant. Sales conversation is an art. The ability to communicate effectively is the basis of every business and successful sales. It affects also the healthy relationships as well as every aspect of our life. Most influential people all over the world, like for example Bill Gates or Warren Buffett, point out that communication skills are one of the most important abilities in their life. At every stage of sales, especially when the stakes are high, a special type of attention is needed because it evokes high emotional response and rush of adrenaline. That's why when you try to close a sale and you deal with objections, you should show much greater sensitivity because a risk of evoking negative feelings is pretty high. Expressing harsh opinions in sales as well as honesty in assessing the situations rarely brings expected results. Sales professionals, whether they want it or not, must demonstrate diplomacy because people are super sensitive to criticism and when their beliefs are questioned. Being too direct and putting all openly on the table, you don't show courage, but merely ignorance and lack of communication skills. When the stake is high, diplomacy, self-restraint and control are crucial. Pointing mistakes made by other people to directly and openly expressing opinions about their lack of rational view of reality and facts leads in a straight line to defense, sticking to the point of view even stronger, and finally to rejection. Regardless of what you hear and see, self-control must be always in the first place. Overreaction is the domain of amateurs. Direct judgments are a common cause of failure in sales. Your ultimate goal is to find a solution that can prevent the destruction of a business relationship while protecting your interest. Sometimes compromise and pretending to be less smarter than your clients is the best what you can do. It's better to let go than to prove your point, because that's not your ultimate goal. The goal is sale, not proving whose arguments are stronger. Even if you are completely convinced of the rightness of your assessment and that your prospect is wrong, you must properly present your point of view. It must be done with sensitivity. Getting straight to the point is a tempting option, but very often it leads mostly to disagreement and mutual dislike. Whether you like it or not, before you get to the point, your prospect must believe in good intentions and motives you follow. This is your main goal. Your primary goal is to build a rapport with your client. The more difficult the case, the less force you should use. To understand this better, let's take an example in martial arts. Oriental martial arts use the energy and power of their opponent instead of opposing them. Oriental martial techniques are not based on the use of force against force. Instead, they use a connection with the energy of the opponent to redirect it against him, what allows to defeat competitor without using any destructive power. Dealing with objections should be understood similarly. Your intention should not be to dismiss the client's concerns, but building rapport and finally to redirect smoothly the other party to your point of view. Probably every experienced salesperson has used these techniques many times before to resolve all kinds of disputes, being aware of not. Achieving high efficiency in persuasion is possible by developing a high level of sensitivity and constant emotional control during that process. A salesperson can show the understanding of the client's irritation and nervousness by imitating his body language, adopting the volume and tempo of speech, his mood, and finally argumentation. Once the connection is established, client should be gently redirected to a different point of view and tension should be slowly reduced. An approach with a low energy level in this case or request to calm down would increase the client's irritation even more, not to mention changing his standpoint. The effective influence of people requires a strict rapport, and this cannot be achieved without showing understanding to another human being and his concerns. The best conversationalists and negotiators know how to control themselves in the first place. Being aware of all human weaknesses and the mechanism of their arise allows building a rapport and safe environment for open conversation, even in the case of completely different standpoints. Thanks to perfect control of your emotions, by constant monitoring your state, you'll be able to reach agreement in virtually anyone. When you stop being vulnerable, you will be on a straight path to master this skill. Social awareness, in combination with a well thought out strategy and preparation, make about success or failure, both in sales and life. My name is Pavel. I built a network of contact and sales from scratch several times in my career in open market for companies operating in industrial sector. If you are interested in sales psychology, improving your sales and social skills, please subscribe and see you soon.